Sup everyone, this is Draco Evo back again with another Manchester United upload, and today we will be discussing my prediction for Ole Gunnar's tactics for season 19-20. As always guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the sub button and turn on the notification so you can come and stay up to date with some latest Manchester United news, transfers and speculation. And without further ado, let's dive straight in. Now in this video I'll be talking about tactics specifically involving the current batch of players that we have. I am not going to be including any potential transfers, ins or outs. During Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's campaign last season, he kept talking about the fact that we need to be high pressing, we need to be attacking, we need to be exciting, like the good old Manchester United days. And you can see it in his eyes that he wants to bring this back. Also, if you look at some of the top clubs around the world, especially in our league, in terms of how Liverpool and Man City play, they play very attacking football, high pressure, winning the ball back in opposition's half, and they're getting a lot of success from it. And that's where I feel United should be at, where they can press high up on the field, play attacking and exciting football, attack, but be also composed and know your opponents well in advance in terms of what strength they have, what weaknesses we can potentially exploit. And therefore I feel there are two specific formation that we should be using to succeed in the upcoming campaign. Now first up, we are going to be talking about the first formation, the primary formation I will say, and I believe this should be a 4-4-2 diamond. Now Ole has employed over the last few games in the last campaign certain matches where he played that formation, where he likes to play two up front with a supporting attacker. So you can see in the formation we got flat back four and a diamond midfield and two up top. What's the strength of this formation? The strength is definitely the middle part. We can dominate central areas really well and stretch opponents with our two strikers and give them, opponent defenders that is, something to worry about going forward. In terms of the weaknesses, it's definitely the flanks. As you can see, it's got a fullback, two fullbacks left and right, and no supporting in terms of the wingers, and that can be exploited, but we'll get to that anyway. Now in terms of personnel, I believe David De Gea should be in goal, and in the current central defensive pairing, I reckon definitely we are going to have Lindelof and Smalling. Lindelof had a great campaign last season, and Smalling's the better of the current batch of defenders that we have. He won a lot of aerial duels, he's composed, he knows the game, and albeit not on the level that we expect, but hey, we're talking about the formation and the players and the personnel and the tactics from the current batch that we have only. In terms of the fullback position, definitely Luke Shaw on the left. He has a fantastic season, winning our player of the season last season. He has come heaps and came a long way from the player that we saw to last season, where he's excelled in his position, you can say. And definitely in this particular formation we will put in Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And the reason why I put him in this particular formation and not Diego Dalot is because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is defensively more adept compared to Diego Dalot, who's more offensively adept. And if we put Diego Dalot in that formation and he's offensively going forward, then that leaves a gaping gap in the right back position. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, let's not forget, he won a lot of his tackling duels against the top six last season, so he was definitely going to provide cover on the right back position. Centrally, definitely the only experienced player that we have that can do a job in that defensive position is Nemanja Matic. And the two central midfielder position where it's important, where we had Herrera and Pogba last season, and in the early days of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer it was a bit of a success, but this time with Herrera going from the club, leaving it for PSG, I think Pogba will stay, and it will be Pogba and and I believe it's going to be McTominay. Now Pogba's got the creative side on him. He can run forward, he can get the ball from the back, but it depends on his attitude, isn't it? He can cover lateral positions as well. McTominay, having an industrious box-to-box almost midfielder next to him, will do wonders for us. And you can see it certainly in the two central midfield positions. In my opinion, there's a lot of energy in McTominay, where he showed a lot of heart and passion, especially last season, and I genuinely believe he will improve going forward this season. Pogba, it all depends on him, how he wants to perform, and if he is in the right mood and the attitude, he is the best player we have. And I reckon that's why our central midfielders are at the moment, with Matic partnered by McTominay and Paul Pogba. On the tip of that diamond, it is a bit of a difficult choice because we don't have a genuine sort of attacking midfielder, you can say, but in my personal opinion, I reckon we should be putting Jesse Lingard. He is a big game player, and no matter what's been going on around him, especially with his social media activities, he is still a decent player for us, and he definitely turns up against big teams, and he knows the club. He's pacey and he tracks back. He's very worky. I wouldn't say he is an advanced playmaker, because he is not. He's more like a shadow striker, that one that can sneak in and get you goals from nowhere, and that's what I feel at the moment with Jesse Lingard, where he's at. And again guys, as I always stated, this is my predicted lineup and tactics on the current batch of players we have. Up front, definitely for me it should be Martial and Rashford. Martial last season, every time he played in the centre forward position and not on the wings, he scored more goals. As simple as that. His best season came in our first season, and last season he was injured, he fell off, and then he was not playing in the right position, and you can see that. But I reckon this season Oli, who's preferring a bit of two strikers up front, Martial will excel alongside Marcus Rashford. And Rashford, I reckon he's going to have a phenomenal season. He's got the talent. He's the third best striker in terms of goal in the whole of Europe, behind Mbappe and Jovic. And you can see Rashford will probably be the player where he'll get us a lot more goals, and him having a lot of pace and playing behind defense, along with Martial, who can pick a pass as well to compensate for the fact that we don't have a dedicated advanced playmaker position, will cause problems. And that's it guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of my predicted sort of primary A formation, or primary formation you can say. I did go for the 4-1-2-1-2 diamond, and these are the players I feel that will best suit this particular position. Having said that, let's move on to the secondary formation, and this formation I feel will be best employed in big games, in tough away games, or if you're holding on to a lead and want to see the game out and be solid yet have an attacking outlet. It is the 5-3-2 formation. Now as you can see, there will be 3 central defenders partnered by 2 wing backs on the left and right, providing width, with 3 midfielders, and of course Oli's preferred 2 strikers up front. In terms of personnel, De Gea will be in goal obviously. Now defensively it's a bit of a surprising one, but that one that I believe can work. We'll have Lindelof in the left, Smalling in the centre, as we discussed while we had them in the last formation, and but on the right side of the defense position is going to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But we all know Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not, his best asset is not going forward but more defensively, and he can play on centre back position. So having these 3 defenders and having Lindelof and having Smalling flanked by Lindelof and Aaron Wan-Bissaka will provide a sufficient cover defensively. But on the left back position it's going to be Luke Shaw, because he can go forward, he can bomb forward, he has the ability to run at defense and get a good ball in. And on the right side, a more attack minded right back, which will be Diego Dalot, and his biggest strength, Dalot's biggest strength in the game is actually going forward and getting a ball in. And you can see last season he has played in that position, the advanced sort of right wing position, and getting balls in and crossing in at the moment. And at the same time, if we need to close off the game, these 2 fullbacks can step back and stay and further solidify that defense. Now if you look at central midfield position, that's probably where the interesting part I believe will be at, because technically speaking we have 5 defenders. So do we need a dedicated defensive midfielder? I don't think so. So I reckon we should be employing McTominay, who's industrious, who can win balls, who can win tackles, as he did against Barcelona last season, where he had arguably his best match of his career so far. Playing in the centre, flanked by obviously Paul Pogba to the left, I reckon. And I reckon another player will be coming in the game a lot more is Andres Pereira, who signed a contract, and Andres Pereira has the ability to cover lateral positions, cover vertical positions as well. He's got pass in him. He's also can be industrious, not on the level as McTominay, but where McTominay's weakness is in terms of picking up a pass, that's where Pereira can kind of compensate for that. And him and Pogba going forward to support the two forwards can and will be devastating if used right, if used correctly, of course. And up front I have went for Lukaku and Rashford. The reason why I go for Lukaku this time around instead of Martial is because Lukaku, no matter what we say about his touches, he can cause defenders problem, especially with his strength, upper body strength. He can win headers, and that's where I feel he will come in handy up front, especially if we got dedicated wingers on the left and right getting crosses in. What are the chances of Lukaku winning that cross compared to, say, Martial winning that cross? So it gives a bit of an outlet for us. And obviously we have Ollie's favourite, and the one that I'm kind of banking on a lot, is Rashford. He's got pace, he's got tenacity, he knows what United is about, he can bite, he can press, and him being next to Lukaku can cause a lot of problems for oppositions. Now, in my opinion, in order to compensate this sort of two formations, we need to have players pressing the ball and winning the ball up front at all times, and that is is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aiming for. Because if you look at the back end of last season, you can say that we had a fantastic start under Ole, pressed high, we pushed, but Ole said it a lot more in his press conference towards the end, where the players were getting tired, there was injuries popping up, and you can see that players were not ready for that ruthlessness, that pressing, the high pressing game, the pacey game, the stamina game. And that's where Man City and Liverpool have taken about a year or two to get to that level, and now they can play that. And I reckon with the training regimes going on right now, where there's apparent double sessions happening and players are feeling it, Ole did say on his first day that the first training session is as if players trained for 1 week, and that's how much they are getting pushed. And that's where I feel United should be with these formations. Yes, they have a different fluidity into them, different scenarios, but the main the primary tactics that should be in this formation, should be instilled in these players, is high pressing. Press, and you can win matches, I can assure you, because on paper our quality is there. In terms of the bench, I reckon people like Mata, definitely Daniel James, can certainly do damage from the bench in terms of the attacking sense from these positions. You look at Daniel James, who's been apparently fantastic in the training sessions this pre-season so far. Imagine putting him out towards the last 20 minutes of the game where the opposition are really tired, and you're putting out someone who's got a lot of pace. He will go forward and he will win you goals. I guarantee you that. I assure you that. And in terms of Mata's the role model. He can come in and get everyone composed, especially in the secondary formation where we need to hold on to win the game, or we need to hold off opposition. He can come in and provide that passing link, the intricate passes, the little bit of movement, the little bit of experience that we are clearly lacking in some departments. So there you have it, guys. This was my sort of prediction of the new upcoming season in terms of tactical awareness, analysis, and the preferred formation with the current batch of players that we have. Obviously, I will do a follow-up video to this on what players we will buy potentially and how they fit into these two systems over the coming weeks. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you feel you agree with this formation, or do you have a specific other formation that you feel will make Manchester United better compared to what I've been saying. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and As always, you know, hit the like button if you like what you see. Also hit the dislike button, but let me know in the comments below where I can improve with these videos, where you think I went wrong. Get your opinions rolling. And as always, this was only my opinion, and I catch you guys in the next upload.